activated.
In January of 24,
Yes.
so almost 2 years ago, you signed a lease and you identified him as your boyfriend.
So that is where the mix-up is. I signed my lease. I never put emergency contact down. Tim moved in with me, I would say around September, November, around that course of the time, fall-ish. And I put him down as my emergency contact because he was my boyfriend at the time. So yes.
In the fall of 23?
24.
But in January 24, according to Akira's attorney, you executed a lease identifying him as your boyfriend.
That was updated. That was not the first lease. I only could have a copy of the updated lease. So that's why he's named as my boyfriend, because at that time he became my boyfriend July 6th of 2024.
So in July, you went back and said, let me have that lease I signed in January.
No.
I want to fill in and put him as my boyfriend.
No, that's not how it worked. I needed an updated lease, right? So my first lease that I signed had no emergency contact on it, right? So I put him on the lease after he moved in with me. So around September, like I said, fall-ish, is when I added him on the lease as my boyfriend, not before. I signed my lease in January. There was no copy of that lease. They updated the lease because I needed to go to the leasing office. So that's why it's on the lease. But of course it was spun to that point.
Then in March, Akira and Tim were legally separated.
Yes, March 5th.
Then in May, she files a lawsuit against you.
Correct.
And then in August, Akira and Tim divorced.
Correct.
And then in March of this year, you and your husband filed for divorce. And then in September this year, you married Tim.
Yes.
So y'all are married.
Yes, we are.
How's it going?
Amazing.
Okay. But then 2 months later, you got a verdict against you for $1,750,000.
Yes.
That had to be a shocker.
It was.
And that's against you, not Tim.
Right.
Well, coming up, we're going to meet Brenay's new husband and Akira's old husband, Tim, who says what we've heard in the news and on social media is not how it really went down. So we're going to let him clear the air on all that right after the break. In January,
conversation amongst those inappropriate videos, and I was under the impression everything was okay. But then when the lawsuit came out, I was completely shocked because we've had a conversation.
You've provided some text that we can't show because I don't want to mess up the appeal or the court proceedings or anything at all, that you represented as proof of her giving permission.
Yes.
And I didn't read those as permission at all. It was just acknowledgement that it was going on, but not permission to proceed.
In the text message that I provided was her talking about the consent that she gave. In the end of the message, she said, it was a test and y'all failed miserably. That is what she's referring to. There was a conversation had between her and I, and also Tim. We all had a conversation about what's our next move. It's a type of person.
And you do acknowledge the problem was you loved him while he was still somebody else's husband.
Well, not necessarily.
Separated, but somebody else's husband.
I've always had love for Tim, but never romantic feelings for him until we got together.
While he was still married, but separated.
Legally married.
Yeah, but separated.
And legally separated,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's your point.
Yes.
You say that was over. They just hadn't filled
Yes, once you separate from someone and you're not going to sleep with them and you're not in their home with them, I don't see it as a bad thing. Everybody moved on. My ex, he moved on. He was in a relationship. She moved on. She's in a relationship. Why is it that it's a problem for me to do that? I don't understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted you to be clear on.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank Brenay and Tim for sharing their story. No matter how unhappy someone is, look, their partner did not make them cheat. the decision to have an affair belongs 100% to the person who strays. Now, if you want out of a relationship, my advice to you is to be transparent about it and leave. Now, both of them say they did. They separated. They had gone on. All the paperwork hadn't been worked out, but they say they were transparent and they had moved on. You can make up your own minds about that.
Side eye activated.